スーパーファン、ちょっと待って、声おかしい。スーパーファンの皆さん、こんばんは。今日もじゃねえや。今日もポダランじゃねえや。ポダラン鑑賞会やります。こんばんはいらっしゃいです。始まるぞですね。はい、ポンポンさん、こんばんはいらっしゃいです。音をつけるの忘れてたわ。ミルキーさんもこんばんはいらっしゃいです。BGM もつけて、ちょっとお腹空いてたからあれなんですよね。急いで飯食ってたら若干遅れちゃった。ヒドラフロストを掘るしかないホットフィックスでしたね。DLC2 のレアボスあれですもんね。もう確定は気になりましたよね。最初からそうすればいいのに。まあでも DLC2 のレアボスはかなり周回しやすくなったんじゃないかなと思います。それに関しては間違いないですね。はい、誠さんこんばんはいらっしゃいです。公式の方の画面もつけなきゃいけないですな。これでいいかな？ OK。こうだね。こうだと小さすぎるか。シャットが見えないのはあれだから、こうすればいいか。OK。こうすれば OK だ。マハ頑張って掘ってたのに。まあね当分はアイテムそんな感じになるかと思って掘ってた方いっぱいいたんじゃないかなと思いますよ。DLC2。DLC2 実装したての頃、多分檻のようにしたんじゃないかな。檻のように周回してた人。私もその一人でしたし。報告に基づき運営はなぜシールドの英文爆破放置なのだろう。そんなに難しいのかな。いや、それに関しては多分報告がないんじゃないんです。そもそも問題として。私の予想ですと。でも報告している人がいないんじゃないかなと思います。さすがにだってね、そんな昔はだって日本語だったんで、昔は日本語だったんですよ、普通に。普通に日本語だったから戻せばいいだけの話なんで、多分気づいてないんじゃないかなと思います。私の予想はそれです。気づいてないだけ、報告してる人がいないって感じじゃないかな。ちょっと待って、音量を消して、これで OK ですね。ははは。今回の公式配信あれなのか、各自部屋の中で配信する形なのかな、多分。画面別々にあるってことは。てか YouTube やっぱバグってるな。ダメですね。YouTube バグってますね。YouTube 死んでます。まともに動いてくんないや。YouTube もうちょっとなんとかなんねえかな。まあこういう時期だからしょうがないとはいえ、にしてもバグが多すぎるような気がするんですよね。あまりにも。あまりにもバグが多すぎるんだよね。あと3分あるか。3分あるんだったら、なんてチャットしてんだろう。I hope it's Axton. I'm thinking Axton. Axton が出てくるのか。Axton が出てくる可能性があるっていうことか。I think I think Jack Party in Borderlands has ended a while ago. I really don't think they will bring him back. まあ、ハンサムジャックは出るはずないと。で、セリエスプローなんだっけ？ I think DS3 will have a sheriff character from pre-sequel. なるほどね。プリシークエルからキャラ持ってくる可能性があると。いろんな憶測出てますね。We already have the Jack Harmon side mission who DLC for Jack, so don't wanna. なるほど。ハンサムジャック関連はもう来てるからもういらないとかも言ってますね。やっぱみんなあれだね。レイドよりもあれですね。どちらかというと DLC3 の方に興味あるみたいな感じですね。なるほど、なるほど。あれちなみにこれ YouTube、待って。今チャットじゃないや。今そっちの方で見えてます？ちなみに。画面はしっかりと。画面ちゃんと見えてんのかな？見えてるか？はい、宮森さんこんばんは。いらっしゃいです。なんとなくウキウキしてます。私はあれですね。若干不安ですね。いつものように。だって今のイベントあれじゃないですか。今のイベント、カルテルの性別者効果そのままずっと続くって言ってるんで、だから多分今回来るレイドで新しい性別者効果増えないんじゃないかなと思うんですよ。で、増えないってことは、もしかして新しい武器実装しないとかじゃないのかなって若干思ってる。多分すると思うけど。見えてます。よかった。OK です。伊助さんこんばんはいらっしゃいです。鑑賞会参加させていただきます。はい、こんばんはいらっしゃいです。はい、タコさんもこんばんはいらっしゃいです。不安要素が多い、正直。はい、ステレオさんもこんばんはいらっしゃいです。間もなく始まるって。さて、この人は誰だ？この人がボダラン関係の人かな？じゃあ、そうなるとこの人は誰だろう？まあいいや、何でもいいから情報をください。なんか貴重な情報をもらえればそれで満足です。始まるぞですね。そろそろ始まりますよ。楽しみ1割、不安9割って感じだな、俺は。私もそんな感じです。楽しみ1割の不安9割です。サルバトール。なんでサルバトールのこと呼んでんだろう。そんなサルバトール来てほしいのかな。まあでも今サルバトール来たら、あれでしょうね。多分モズやってる人みんなサルバトールに移りますよね。だってサルバトールモズの完全上位互換だし。弾薬回復システムもサルバトールと一緒だし、スキルほとんどだってサルバトールと似たような感じだから、耐久力面に関してはアマーラと同じだけど。こんばんは。映画関連の話が8割です。適当。まさか映画関連の話は多分しないでしょ。わかんないけど。さて、BGM も一回消しますか。ということで、アキラさんこんばんはいらっしゃいです。ここからあと2分ですね。YouTube だとあれですからね。なんだっけ、ツイッチ？そうだ、ツイッチですね。ツイッチより若干遅めだからな、始まるの。 なんだかんだもう公式配信7回目か。早いな。公式配信1回目から見てますからね。もう7回目ですよ。映画化なんてなかったみたいなお蔵入り展開がありそう。まあ、もしかしたらあれですよね。なんか、むやむやになって消える可能性もありそうな気がするけど。まあでも最近例の病気が蔓延してるからね、映画なかなか出せないと思いますよ。だって、密集する場所じゃないですか、映画館なんて。出そうとしても出せないでしょうね。始まりますな。
Today, in a very special at-home edition of the Borderlands show, Fran and I are going to talk about our time with the Revenge of the Cartels event.
But it's not just us, Greg. We got Mitsu back with us talking about Mayhem 2.0 and how that has changed the game.
Well, we're also going to discuss mapping the human gut biome in Borderlands science.
If that wasn't enough, though, we're going to check out the new Takedown. We're going to talk about when that's coming out. You're going to see the first footage that you've seen anywhere right here.
Oh, well,
なんか声が合ってなくね?
Creative director Matt Cox is here to reveal the official title and release date of DLC 3 and give us all those juicy gameplay details.
That's pretty good. I'm going to try to one-up you, though, and we'll see if we can get a tease about
なんか
DLC
口と言葉合ってなくないですか?
Case of a humdinger of a show. Don't go anywhere. This is the Borderlands show.
なんか合ってませんよね。字幕出せます
That's
か?
right, everybody. It's a brand new
OK です。
episode. So remember, of course, you need to go subscribe twitch.tv/Borderlands, youtube.com/BorderlandsGame. And the show doesn't happen without you. So get your questions and comments in at
なんか
kindafunny.com/Borderlands.
訪れしてますよね、これ。
Fran, welcome back to the show once again, Mitsu.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
everybody.
Mitsu, how are you?
It's so good to be here again. I'm glad that I could sit in and be a part of the program.
We're always happy to have you in here. And give us this,
見づれえな、これ。
you live Borderlands 3. You're out there in the community.
訪れひどい
You're doing all
な。
your different shows about it. I want to start right there because it seems every time you're on the show, something is happening with Bordercast or Ultimate Vault Hunters. What is the update this time?
So, Ultimate Vault Hunters, we're going to talk about that first, is a new show that Liz55, a previous guest on the Borderlands show, she is hosting it. And the kind of focus of the show is a little bit different. It's all about taking the hardcore builders of the community, your Lazy Data, your K6, your Jolts dude, and having them come on and break down their crazy builds that allow them to do things at Mayhem 10. Awesome. And it's just a fun breakdown for people to watch and kind of gain a new perspective on how to play the game. As for the Bordercast, Tess and I had a little bit of a conversation. We decided we wanted to give Liz our slot at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on
これ更新したら連れ直んないかな。
1 p.m. Pacific on Thursdays, and now the Bordercast is moving to Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. So we've kind of had a bit of a schedule change, but we're thinking that it's going to long-term work out for the best.
ページ更新し、
And of course,
直りました。直しました。直りました。
both
よかったよかった。
Hunters and Bordercast and our own, the Borderlands show that you're watching right now.
直りました。直りました。
Officially, everybody have an audio podcast feed. So all the Borderlands shows you could possibly want are going up as podcasts on all the podcast services you'd be used to. So you can get them and subscribe to them and like them. Just one feed to rule them all, packed with all the Borderlands shows you want. Fran, I think this has been the number one thing we've heard is feedback from people who like the show.
Yep, I'm super excited to be able to listen to it anywhere now. So
exactly. More housekeeping for you, of course, before we get into the thing, reveal DLC.
はい、タミフルさん、こんばんは。いらっしゃいです。
Revenge of the Cartels, the event is still going on, of course. It wraps up, though, June 4th, which is coming up quickly. So you need to get in there and start earning those rewards. We're going to talk your ear off when we get to what you've been playing, because, of course, we've been playing Revenge of the Cartels. But it's not even that. It's crazy that we want to talk about that. But since we last did the Borderlands show, which again, ladies and gentlemen, Fran and I were hired to do the Borderlands show to break the news about Borderlands to you. Then I wake up in the morning and turn to open my email and I find all this Borderlands news breaking. It's been a bunch of surprises. Borderlands science has been killing it. Fran, have you gone and done some of the Borderlands science stuff?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Science.
Teaming up for the good of actual humanity, but bringing a like cool puzzle.
ボーダーランサイエンスね。まあ面白かったかどうかと言ったら、まあ新鮮ではあったけど、面白さはぶっちゃけなかったですよね。
It's a game. You go inside, go to Tannis's workshop. You go there. There's a little arcade cabinet. You go through. You match some things. You do some stuff, and guess what? You're connecting.
まあでも新鮮ではあった。新鮮ではあったけど、別にボーダーランに求めてなかったっていうのが一番の答えですよね。
You're getting rewards and you're helping
Figuring out the
That's what I
poop
know.
stuff. Let's be real with people.
はい、アポロエテネさん、こんばんはいらっしゃいです。
Key bonuses, you're getting all sorts of stuff at the end too. You can spend your money on that you make in this.
真ん中のおじさん、ホモ特有で綺麗な目しててさ、
Science is out. You can get it right now. Play it for free inside Borderlands 3. On top of that,
そんなこと言っちゃダメですっ
Borderlands
て。
Science, a mini game within Gearbox Software and 2K's best-selling, critically acclaimed video game Borderlands 3 that contributes to real-world biomedical studies, has seen players solve 36 million puzzles with more than 700,000 individual players from the larger Borderlands 3 community, solving an average of 1.2 million puzzles per day since the program launched on April 7th. Borderlands Science continues to grow, with nearly 250,000 new players joining within the last 2 weeks. That is
サイエンスは誰得なんだって思ったな。ですね。私もそれは思いました。
To mapping the human gut microbiome. Mitsu, did you know this was coming? And then how often are you using it?
I didn't know it was coming, but I'm really glad that it did. I always love games.
メイヘム 2.0 以降はパズル報酬も減っておこですよ。あ、そうだったんだ。それを知らなかったな。
Other video games have it where you can play old school video games, and this of course very stylized after old school puzzle games. You can earn in-game rewards like you said, and you can get sweet loot drops from it. You're helping contribute to science, and you're playing a cool puzzle game, and then when you're done with it, then you get some really cool loot.
Yeah. If for some reason you haven't done it, I did it, first day it dropped, I spent my evening going through and getting to the max level and going through and beating all the different bosses you had on the ladder, and you get so much of the in-game currency to spend on it. I will never not be playing under double XP again. It's just always there. I don't need to worry about it. I think it's maybe actually 25% boost in XP, but
yeah,
the XP
good.
Is there.
It's funny, I think Mitsu was talking about you can drink a tall, cool glass of Butt Stallion milk and get increased loot drops. Was that one?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
It's really cool.
Also, when your parents come over and try to bother you, what are you doing? Playing all these video games. And then you're like, I'm doing science.
Mom, it's for science.
I'm an adult, Greg, but there's...
You're an adult.
親が来た時になんでお前またビデオゲームやってんのかって言われた時に言い訳として私は科学をやってるんだって言い訳できるとか言ってるんだけど。
And the other surprise, since we last talked to you on the Borderlands show, ladies and gentlemen, the Borderlands Legendary Collection is coming to Nintendo Switch May 29th. It has Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, Borderlands 2, and Borderlands the pre-sequel. Mitsu, that's a hell of a package.
Yeah, it's so cool. The last time that we all
まあでもボーダーランサイエンスの情報は正直どうでもいいんですよね。早くレイド情報出してくんねえかな。
Borderlands 2 on the PlayStation Vita. Who made that happen? Who got credit?
I mean, do you know anybody, Greg, who could
maybe it was me, Greg Miller.
Could bring two companies like that together?
It's me. That's what I do out there. I bridge the gap. All right. I make sure Vitas are getting into the hands of everyone out there.
ライブだと2倍速にできないんだよな。やっぱ寝ようかな。
I can relive the story of Borderlands 2, play the pre-sequel, Athena. I love throwing shields. It's
まあゆっくり見てればいいんですよ。
I think it's awesome to see that open up for a brand new
最高難易度でハイスコアで更新すれば5000もらえたのか2500円。ああ、そうなんだ。半分も減ったんだ。それはなんで減ったんだろう。
It's doing pretty well. You know what I mean? They don't need our plugs. But it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for us to talk
それはなんで修正されたんだろう。何のあれなんだろうな。お、来るのか
？All right, guys, it's time to talk about what we've been playing in Borderlands 3, and I think obviously the lead story is Revenge of the Cartels. Fran, Mitsu, how much fun is this?
Oh my god, it's everything I could have possibly hoped for and more. This is like Bloody Harvest was great. This is unreal. People are saying on Twitter, I think Killer 6 specifically, but a lot of people have said this and echoed that sentiment, that they want this as content permanently. They would pay for this content to be permanent.
まあ確かにカルテルの豊富に関してはあれですよね。結構イベントとしてはかなり優秀なイベントでしたよね。ハロウィンよりかは新しい武器も結構強いし、まあ逆に強すぎる部分もあるけど。まあ前回のハロウィンイベントよりは確かに強かった。結構いいイベントだったとは思いますよね。
Mansion is so much fun to run through and fight, right, Fran?
So I can't hear you guys. I was jamming out to the synthwave in Revenge of the Cartels.
あーでもどうなんだろうな。ハロウィンの方が良かったかな。
Seriously, that was my big thing for sure. The music is so
だって
cool.
結
I keep
局
saying this
今
about
の
the
ハロウィンイベン
content
ト、
that
今
they're
の今
releasing
回の
on
カルテル
Revenge
の
of
報
the
酬
Cartels.
って武器が
Legitimately,
強い
this
じゃ
is
な
the
いで
type
す
of music
か。
I
でもその
listen
武
to
器
on
って
my
いずれキャップ
stream.
解放
Yeah,
されたら
no
使えなくな
I
る
was
じゃないです
streaming
か。
playing Revenge of the Cartels, and
で
I
も
was
ハ
like,
ロウィンイ
man,
ベ
I
ント
love
の
playing
テラーに
music
関
on
しては
that.
キャッ
It's
プ
like
解放されよう
great.
が
It's
都
the
度使い
game
続ける
that's
こと
like
が可能なん
pumped
で、
up
そういうのを考
Christianity.
えれば
So
まだ
number
前
one,
の
I
方が
just
良か
thought
ったかも
the
しれない。
vibe, like you're saying, was so cool, and they really delivered on that. But the event is fun, yeah. The way that they mix up the
まあでも
characters,
似たり寄ったり
the
か
enemies
な。
that is.
ストーリーに関してはぶっちゃけ2つともどうでもいいし、装備に関しては
So I hope that
あれ
as
で
much
す
as I
ね
like limited time
武
stuff
器
too,
に
hopefully
関
we
して
get
は
it
カルテル
back
豊富の
sooner
方が良かった
than,
け
you know,
ど、そう
later.
いう聖別者効果とかに関して
It
は
feel-
前
it
の方
feels
が良
like
か
a
ったか
little
な。
DLC
個人
to
的に
itself,
は。
honestly. It's
そう思い
that
ます。
engrossing.
マップ好き
Picking up
マッ
Dakota
プ
rings, going out there. Every time I get to fight
マッ
Joey,
プが
right,
好
get
き。
down in there.
まあ確かに作りはいい感じでしたよね。
It's just fun, and I know it's like the weirdest thing, a way to describe it, but I like it. I still get excited every time I get to go back.
Video
はい、
games are
KK さ
fun.
んこん
What a
ばんはいらっ
shocker.
しゃい
Oh,
で
you
す。
know, video games
Yeah.
are cool. That's a T-shirt. You can get it at kindoffunny.com/store. Roger put it in the frame right now. So Revenge of the
カ
Cartels.
ルテル
Yeah,
は敵
something
が
that's
めっちゃ
awesome.
増えて
It's
面白
still
かった
going
な。
on.
まあ
June
ですね。
4th,
まあカルテ
however,
ル
is
のあれですよね。カルテル
that's
自
coming
体
soon.
はあれ
That's
は
going
な
to
ん
be
と
an
も言えない
important
け
date,
ど、
but I'll talk about that in a
なんか
second.
敵がいっ
Because
ぱ
the
い増え
other
るの
part
は
of
面
this
白い
whole
ですよ
thing,
ね。
what
前
we've
は
been
だって
saying
ド
since
クロが
last
飛び回る
Borderlands
だけ
show,
だったし、
is also
その
Mayhem
強さも
2.0
な
is
かったけ
dropping.
ど。
And so whenever we do this show, there's the
で、定期的
varying,
に
you
中
know,
ボスとかが
levels
出
and
てくるって
scales
いう
of
シ
how
ス
much
テム
we've
も
all
かなりい
played.
いですよね。
For me with Mayhem 2.0, I am too much of a coward to go beyond Mayhem 3.0. Because that is like the right balance of when I want to go in there, test my build, test my metal, how can I hang? But then also I don't mind just dialing it down and having fun. How has it been for both of you guys?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just at a base, like it's awesome that Mayhem is now revamped. So that's the reminder.
まあ、
again,
メイヘム
that
2.0 に
like
関して
the
は、あれ
old
です
Mayhem
よ
is
ね。
gone, and now in
よかったっちゃ
menu,
よかった
you
け
don't have to go back to
ど、やっ
Sanctuary.
ぱ、
Really
なんだ
just
ろう
a
な、とりあえ
wide
ず
level
こ
to reload
この
the
も
latest
メイヘム
checkpoint.
モッドが邪魔だなと
That
思う
alone I love. I
し、
love to be able to in real
Yes.
time.
あと
pretty
やっ
much
ぱりあれですよね、
adjust
ボーダーラン
the
2、
level
ま
I'm
あ、
playing
2
at.
みたいに、そう
Because,
い
yeah, I
う、なん
definitely
か
lean
テス
a
ト
bit more
テストを
into
行って
yeah,
でき
I
る
want
よ
to
う
make
な
sure
シ
it
ステ
still
ムの方が
functions
まだ良かっ
both
た
on
で
my
すよ
build.
ね。
So I just love that you're able to do
だって
that
結
and that they
局、
actually
ほとんど
do
の
have
方たちっ
10
て、あれ
releases.
じゃな
At
いです
first, I was
か。
like, that's a lot.
そのまま
Yeah.
メイヘム10まで行って
And
た人が
to
ほ
be
とん
able
ど
to
じゃない
reroll
です
your
か。
modifiers as well, like it's
それが
super
なーって
fast
感
and
じです
intuitive. So I really like the way they've
テ
changed
ス
the
トとか
system
があ
just
った
at
ら
the
1
base.
段階ずつやっていくか
Yeah,
ら
it's、made the
ま
game
た
more
全然
fun
楽しめ
because
たと
I
思うの
might
に。
get to a boss, for example, and I'll turn it up until like I run into trouble.
Yeah.
And again, to be able to do that really easily has just brought more enjoyment to the
Yeah.
game. So I really
Yeah,
like
because
the
having to go
system
back to
at a base.
Sanctuary before was no good. And so having it
Yeah.
there, yeah, like you're saying, that you can go in there and you can test yourself. Or you're like,
メイヘム
I'll
2.0
find
良かっ
that's
た
how
ん
I
だけど
settled
ね、
on
結局
3,
で、
right? Is
結
that I'll
局
be
良かったん
playing
だけ
and be
ど、
struggling, like, oh, I gotta come back down, I gotta come back down.
Because
まあ
it's
問
more
題もいろいろあ
accessible.
るわ
The
な。
journey
まあ
is
いずれ
just
修正
bigger.
してくれるとは
Because
思う
like
んだけど。
now, again, I can just play around with it. Where before it's asking me too much to go back to Sanctuary. So the game has been made more enjoyable actually through the core system. You know, granted, there's probably getting into the detail of like which of these roles on Mayhem do I like, which
Yeah.
things do I like in here more or less, but like at a base, I really like the system.
Mitsu,
Yeah.
how's it been for you?
It's been wonderful. So I'm a little bit of a scaredy pants. I love playing on Mayhem 10 or just like challenging myself as much as possible,
You're
but
a
I still
psychopath.
haven't. Yeah, well, you know, it happens. I play Borderlands. So when it comes to looking at Mayhem 10, I'm not there yet. I'm not comfortable. I'm not killing things fast enough. So what I did is I dialed it back a little bit, and I'm hanging out at Mayhem 6. And is it still a challenge? Yes, but I'm comfortably killing things. I'm enjoying hanging out with my friends and playing it. We've done tons of like the the runs through Revenge of the Cartels, so that's always been enjoyable. It feels in a great place, and I love the modifiers. No more bullet reflection. Thank God. Thank you, Gearbox. Thank you so much. I cannot emphasize that enough. That is the biggest change ever. You never have to worry about it. And then going from there, you know,
一番右の人はあれなんですって。その弾が反射するやつ修正してくれたからそれだけで満足って言ってるわ。暴力趣味みたいのを追加してないくせにそこをメイヘム10行くのは想定外だみたいなこと言ってたのがよくわけわからんかった。まあそれに関して私も賛成です。それに関しても私も賛成で、どうやってやってみんなそうなりますよね、だって。
I remember when we talked about that on the show, I think for the first time, and I was like, wait, so this isn't just like a level 57 gun at that point. You now can get a Mayhem 3 leveled gun, you know, that you got out of that.
アイテムカード、メイヘム10と表記と箱にメイヘム提供されない剣を修正はよですよね。アイテムカードに関してはいずれ修正入れるよみたいなことをなんかフォーラムの方に書いてあったんですけどね。まあでもまた時間かかるのかな。音沙汰ないですよね。とりあえずそれを最優先にしてほしいなと私も思います。だって分かりづらいですよね。メイヘムいくつなのか。
guns. And also, to be fair, if you have friends and they send you a Mayhem 10 gun, then also you can start wrecking shop with some of those gifted items from friends.
フェーズ2だからまだまだ先だろうな。まあ、先でしょうね。
There have been some issues with Mayhem 2.0, and that's why Gearbox sent along this message.
Hey everyone, it's Graham with the Borderlands 3 live team. Before we talk about Mayhem, I first want to say thank you to our entire community for all of the help and all the feedback you've given us these last few weeks as you've started to experiment with Mayhem. So thank you so much for all of your help. So in case you missed it, last week on Borderlands.com, we posted a blog that went over some of the changes that we'd like to make with Mayhem. Today I'd like to review some of those highlights with everyone and make sure everyone's up to speed. So phase 1 of these changes comes with the Guardian Takedown. In it, we're focusing on Mayhem stat scaling changes and some gear adjustments. So in Mayhem's level 7 and higher, you're going to see the health, shield, and armor stats for the highest levels of Mayhem pulled down. At that same time, we're going to take a look at some over and underperforming gear and make some adjustments there as well. Also, you'll start seeing Mayhem level identifiers on the item cards for all your Mayhem level weapons. Phase 2 comes with DLC 3, and in it we're going to focus on character build diversity. The big change is non-weapon sources of damage will start scaling relative to the Mayhem level. So action skill damage, melee, slide, slam, they're all going to start scaling relative to that level. Also, grenade mods will start dropping as Mayhem gear, just like Mayhem weapons. And finally, all sources of loot in the game will start dropping Mayhem level gear. So those are just a few of the changes that we've got in store. If you want more information, head to Borderlands.com and read the rest of the post. And again, thank you so much for your feedback and keep it coming.
Okay, so that's what we've been playing at home, guys, but we actually just got our first look at the new Takedown. Are you ready to talk about it?
Absolutely.
Oh, new Takedown 来るって。
First look.
First look.
おお、どれどれ。
That's right. The next takedown is officially Takedown at the Guardian Breach. We've all been playing it. Mitsu, I'm going straight to you. What's your take?
It was so it's nice to see that they are not resting on their laurels. This is completely different from what we experienced in Maliwan Takedown in the best ways possible.
もう喋るのいいから早く動画出してくれよ。
All of the new secret things that we probably shouldn't quite talk about yet because there's new enemies and new other things. But
more than that, there's puzzles. There's like these like things you have to do right to advance and go through. It almost feels like a raid. And I know the thing with Takedown.
There's a few light platforming things. I didn't have too much of a problem with it. I imagine most people won't, but they're there, so you'll have to keep that in mind. But the new enemies are amazing. They have taken strides in making new mechanics happen for these fights, and it feels like they're going to try and further the story of Borderlands through it. And that's what's really most exciting to me because the Guardians have been lying dormant for a long time. I want to see why they have suddenly burst forth onto the scene.
And that's the thing, of course, right? Like Tanis sends us over to Minos Prime. We get there, we find a world just shattered from within, right? Everything's floating there. You start as soon as we started, and it was like that, not 0G, but lesser gravity. You know what I mean? Where I could jump higher and longer, and I was like,
無重力自体なのか。
You know what I mean? And they got jump pads in there, and it was very much like, oh, like you're talking about. This is still Borderlands, but it's taking it in a different direction. It's adding something new. It's also giving us this mystery of what's happening. Fran, I cut you off. I'm sorry.
うん、あれですね、スカイウェル27みたいにあれですね、無重力地帯ですね。はい、魚さんこんばんはいらっしゃいです。今ちょうどレイドの話ですね。
You just announced the release date, Fran. June 4th, everybody. That is the real release date for
6月
Takedown at the
4
Guardian
日、
Breach.
4
Again,
日
it
に来る
coincides
そう
with
で
the
す。
end of Revenge of the Cartels. It's a real release date, June 4th.
Jump the gun on that one. A little excited, but
No, it's the Borderlands show. We're hanging out. We're having fun.
やっぱエリディアンメインってことは、じゃあコロッシブ、あ、エリディアンメインってことはやっぱあれですよね。シールドとアーマーメインってことだから。
all these new enemies coming at you, and it is fierce. And I was just gonna say, remember that takedowns are really more intended to be a raid.
ライフバーわざと見せてないだと思います。わざと見せてないんじゃないかな。
We'll probably see, the same thing here, but man, it's tough, but it's cool that they're doing things like you have puzzles now.
あれ動物もいるな。あー、ってことはライフも必要になってくるのか。まあでもシールドコロッシブだろう。まあコロッシブが一番あれだろうな。アーマーが問題でしょうね。
Oh yeah, I did some trading places. It was fun.
Oh really? Nice.
Yeah.
あとはあれですね、地味にパルクール要素もあるから、あれですね、結構周回はだるいと思います。パルクール要素いらないんだよね。あれなんですよ、たまに遊ぶくらいだったらパルクール要素も面白いんですけど、周回ってなってくると、毎回パルクールやってたら大変ですからね。
I appreciated, like, even in the opening areas, right? Figuring out how to open these doors. There's a platforming puzzle like you were talking about, Mitsu, right? That calls in a bit of what I'm talking about with less gravity, and I don't even know that's how you call it. Fewer gravity? I'm kidding. That's also not correct. But then getting down there.
でもあれですね、ダメージ見た感じでと多分メイヘム入れてないですね。TVHM モードでやってますね。
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be something, yeah, you want to really like get in with friends and optimize your run through and.Yeah, I mean, I love that. That's what
てかマップが広大そうだからなんか重たそうだな。
Talk about it as their version of a raid, and you're definitely feeling it. But yeah, I can, like Mitsu was getting as well. I can feel the evolution of ideas happening here. Like we saw what they did with Maliwan, and now for sure they're bringing so much together. It really is.
なんか定期的に飛び回りながら戦闘する必要性があるのか。ああ、だからあれですね、プリシークエルのその宇宙マップと似たような感じですね。戦い方としては。うわ、周回めんどくさそう。周回すごいめんどくさそう。
What were you gonna say, France?
That's what I was gonna ask. Like in Greg,
多分周回させるあれないですね。周回させるつもりないような気がするわ。あれテイクダウン明日かと思ったのに楽しみに待ってます。違いますよ。来週です。
One of the things we've talked about before, and I assume you'll be excited for Mitsu again.
落下に落ちそう。落ちる落下結構するでしょうね。マップ自体の構成が。で、しかもパルクールまであるんで。
in there. Players aren't able to move
パルクールちゃんとやらなきゃ途中で落下死してもう一回入り口に戻されるっていうのが結構あると思います。お次キット持ってこなきゃ。大丈夫でしょう。酸素はあるでしょう、きっと。でもボスがどんな感じなんだろうな。
while you're trying to pick them up. That's the only time I could see this being a bad thing. Every time else, this is an amazing change.
You re-roll your mayhem then, I mean.
Yeah, I guess that's fair, yeah.
But yeah, no, at a base it is.
進んでいくというよりタワーディフェンスみたいな感じに見える。ああ、確かにそんな感じにも見えますね。
There's a larger box in terms of like, oh, I'm picking you up. It shouldn't be as difficult as it was. So,
Mitsu,
this will help a lot.
One question for you as somebody who obviously has these shows in your ear to the community, the hardest of hardcore is the highest level of streamers, because of course Fran's a clown.
Whoa, jeez. We're both Zane gang. Okay, if you think you're gonna separate us, Greg,
I'm gonna get between you. I'll flack my way in there. What has it been in terms of the legs for the first takedown, Malawan takedown, right? Are people still playing that as aggressively as they were at launch? I know they changed it and got the scaling difficulties in there. And then what do you think you'll see from this one then in terms of people sticking around?
I feel like a lot of players are currently still playing it. I myself still play it every now and again. It's kind of how I end some of my streams. Just go in there, do a takedown for 30, 45 minutes towards the end just to run through with whatever I got over the course of the day and see how that measures up with. Is it good? Is it bad? I feel like a lot of players can use that as a benchmark challenge towards the end of whatever they might be doing for the day for the same principle. Now, we have Revenge of the Cartels going on right now, as you know, so maybe that's lessened a little bit. But I feel that Mollywan Takedown will definitely stand the test of time because it is an enjoyable experience.
Yeah.
You know, people, it's a takedown. There's an invincible at the end. One of the things I loved in Borderlands 2 was killing invincibles. So of course I'm going to be out there and doing it, and I think a lot of players will as well.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you can find out for yourself what you think of
クロス
Takedown
プレイ
at
早
the
押しろ。
Guardian
クロス
Breach
プレイに
on
関しては
June
多
4th.
分運
Again,
営が
the
もうす
same
で
day,
に
Revenge
実
of the
装する予
Cartels
定ないって
fans,
言って
you
ます
can
か
get
ら
in
ね。
there and get into the new Takedown, let folks know what you want. You can be sad about one, happy about the other. Fran, Gearbox never closes a door without opening a window, you know?
What a segue, Greg. What a
Thank you.
segue.
Speaking of segues, Greg Way, are you excited about DLC 3? I am. What do I know about DLC 3? Literally next to nothing. I have to keep calling it DLC 3, which I really don't like. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, from Borderlands 3, he is the game director on DLC 3. It's Matt Cox.
とりあえず次のレイドはなんか一回保留だな。
Ladies and gentlemen, game director of the DLC 3 for Borderlands 3, it's Matt Cox.
Yay!
なるほどね。DLC3 の人か。
I'm doing wonderful. I'm honestly incredibly excited for our entire team finally get DLC 3 out so people can enjoy it.
And here's the question number one.
DLC4 の情報も出てくる
Now
の
that。you're here, can we stop calling it DLC 3? Does it have a name?
Why not? Sure. Yes, it does have a name. DLC 3 is Bounty of Blood, A Fistful of Redemption.
おお。
Oh, okay. Fran,
Yeah.
did that pique your interest? That get you ready to
Oh
go?
yeah. I'm a huge fan of like the Western vibe, and so
おー
I love that it's not just a fistful
これが
of
DLC3
redemption,
か。
It's a bounty of blood, a fistful of redemption.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Leaves no doubt. That's
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. Matt,
Yeah.
so what's the nutshell of this? What is DLC 3? I'm sorry, it's still in me. I gotta get a DLC 3.
good.
What's Bounty of Blood all about?
Bounty of Blood, it's a harsh story of revenge and redemption. I mean, put simply, the Vault Hunter arrives on the brutal frontier planet of Gehenna in hopes of collecting the sheriff's bounty on the Devil Riders. Now, the Devil Riders are a violent gang of beast-riding mercenaries, and you're going to team up with tough-as-hell locals to protect and help the town of Vestige. And help Vestige get back on their feet. And then you take the fight straight to the Devil Riders using new gameplay objects that we have in the DLC and the
DLC3 はあれですね。
jet
会社じゃ
beast,
ないですね。
vehicle in a gritty tale told by an unseen narrator.
Wow.
うん。
Okay, so
会社とは関係ないで
You're not
す。
going small this
DLC3
time
は。
around.
DLC3
Yeah,
は
there's a lot there to unpack for sure.
デビルズ
where do you wanna start?
ハンタ
Yeah,
ー。
man. When I hear that, what I'm always looking at
会社じゃなくて
the
完全に
history of
別
how
ストー
games
リーですね。
evolve and Borderlands has evolved, and I'm hearing for sure, right? New planet and new town and new enemies. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
The pace that's been set lately.
Yeah, we wanted to try several new things for a DLC. Like DLCs are a perfect place for us to kind of push things in different directions and small different directions for the Borderlands universe. So we definitely have a good handful of that for this DLC.
Mitsu.
I like that you guys are finally like straying away a
今の
little
日
bit
本
from
でしょ
the beaten path. We've dealt with
ん待って
Moxie now. We have dealt with Handsome Jack, kinda like a post-mortem for him, and we've
今
dealt
の
with
日本
Moonlight
でしょ
and Jacobs and kind of had their story. Now it seems
え
like you guys are
DLC3 っ
going
て日本な
into
の
this
舞台
new territory, and I'm kind of excited to see exactly what it looks like, how it
よ
feels,
くわからん
and how
な
it gets to play.
Yeah, one of the things that excites me the most is being able to introduce a completely new cast of characters to the Borderlands universe. So outside of the BO3 Vault
和の
Hunters
国からで
themselves,
すよね。完全和の
Bounty
国
of
編
Blood
みたい
has
な
an
感じですよ
entirely new
ね。
cast of characters. So again, we really wanted to try something new, and these characters are all toughened up by having to survive on this brutal frontier planet. So you can expect a lot of outlaw and cowboy inspirations for sure.
日本っぽいし、安心者
There's a-
可
again,
能
a
性あ
lot
り
to
そう
unpack.
ですね。
I'm insulted Fran and Mitsu that he talks about jet beasts, and Fran's like, "Ah, new planet. That's cool. What? Tell me about
I
a
was
jet
getting
beast."
there.
No, sure you were. Get out of here, Fran. Kevin Newton. Well, tell me, Matt, what is a jet beast all about?
Well, at the very beginning, when we were, in blue sky of trying to figure out what this DLC was going to be, and we're like, yes, definitely go Western. Every Western needs its horse, right? But for the for the Vault Hunter, it's a jet beast, which is half jet bike and half
お、
creature
新しい
that
車。
can rain serious destruction on the frontier with
馬
a
ですっ
dual
て。
machine gun, or you can get a mortar weapon. But it
新しい
really adds
車に
a,
だそう
a
です。
fresh, different dynamic to
時代が
being
多分
on
日
a
本っ
mount
ていう
like
時代だ
combat
から
hunter.
馬を
But
出すに
the
も無
Devil
理だ
Riders
から、
themselves do
馬っ
ride
ぽいものを
the
出すって感じか
experimental
な。
saurians that you can fight. But for the Vault Hunter, they ride this pretty badass jet beast.
So what you're trying to sell me on is you're letting me ride a cyborg dinosaur. That's what you're telling me right now.
へ
It's like a jet
え
beast or a jet.
何この
not like
車
it
強く
is a
ね
jet beast. No, it's like a jet bike with a beast head. You know,
Oh my
words.
god.
何この車
Words.
強くない
Does that now? So I'm getting to a very
め
specific
ちゃくちゃ
question.
強いですね。
Is that the Jet Beast only going to be locked to this third DLC, or can I then take it back into and use it any of the catch rides?
侍つながりの
The
ゼロ
jet
可能、
beast
ゼロ
is
が来る
only
可能性もあ
on
りま
Bounty
す
of Blood.
し、
And actually, at the catcher rides
まあ
in
片
Bounty of
側あた
Blood,
り出てく
it's
る
the
可能性もあ
only
るんじゃない
vehicle
で
that
す
spawns. So we wanted to
片
make
側
sure
の
it's
親
a
父と
tailored
か
Western
娘とか
experience
子
for
供
this,
とかなん
this
か、
DLC.
Okay.
なんか兄弟
Now
関連出て
we've
くるんじゃ
talked
ないか
about
な。
branching out, and obviously how the last two DLCs have piggybacked off of things we already knew, characters we already knew. Talk to me a little bit more specifically about the new characters that are going to be in Bounty of Blood.
Well, the two main characters that anchor the DLC are Juno and Rose. Juno is this rough and tumble brawler with a very checkered past, but she's reformed her
Juno.
way, and now she lives on
完全に
the
日本人に
outskirts
しか
of
見えねえ
town.
な。
Many in Vestige still don't trust her, and she'll have to prove herself by helping us take down the Devil Rider gang.
Okay.
And then you have Rose, who is the first character that we meet in the DLC. She
あ、
is our
この人が
guide,
日本
she
人、
is
これが
our
日本人
ally,
だ
and。she helps us learn the lay of
も
the
ろ日本
land
人
and
だ
helps
わ
us。fight and find our way into town. And
なるほ
Rose's
ど
family
ね。
has been on Gehenna for generations.
なんか、
Now,
ヤ
as
ク
we
ザ
see
物
her
語
here
みたいな
in
感
the
じか、多
B-roll, the
分。
concept art and all the
世
stuff
紀
you
な
guys
き
have
戦
for
い
it,
みたいな感じ
she
かな。
doesn't look like the typical Western character I would be expecting with cowboy hats and a bunch of chew in her lip. What's her story?
Well, the world of Gehenna in and of itself is beautiful. So you're gonna
これを
find
ライトボーガーの鬼カジマ来る
a
可能性あ
wide
る。いや、ま
variety
さ
of
か。
inspirations that we had creating this DLC from westerns all over the world, anywhere from like 13 Assassins to 310 to Yuma, 7 Samurai, all the way to the good, the bad,
ほ
and
ら、
the ugly. So you'll
7
see
人の侍とか言って
all
るって。
sorts of Western influences, not only in the architecture and in the enemy design, but even the music itself. One of the things I'm incredibly proud of in this DLC is
目元が
we
片側っぽ
took
かっ
the
たですよ
music
ね。多分
in a
何個出
different
てくるんじゃ
direction
な
that
い
I
で
think
す
people are used to in Borderlands as well.
Well, that's
Oh
something
my
I know.
God.
Whenever Mitsu and I get together and talk about Borderlands, music, it seems like, is the one that always comes up, right, Mitsu? Every time we talk about
Oh.
these DLCs.
Absolutely. You know, in Revenge of the Cartels, they had that decided 80s, Scarface theme to this. And then you, Matt, you
へ
just
え、日
mentioned the
本
good, the
か。
bad, and the
今
ugly.
まで
One of
ボ
my
タラン
favorite
ってあれ
songs
で
of
すよ
all time
ね
is。the XB of
なんか
the
日本
XB
関連の
Gold Rider.
DLC で出したこと
And
ないですよね。
the premise that there might be some sort of
クリー
remix
ク
or
もサブルパル、
influences
サル
in
バ
the
ト
new
ルも出ない
tracks.
と思いま
That
す。
got me really
もう
excited.
完
all of a
全にあれ
sudden.
ですね。今までのキャラとか関連性が全くない新しい
our
DLC
whole
です
audio
ね。
team always does a phenomenal job from sound to music, and so there's a wide variety of amazing new things for people to hear. I can't wait.
Now, as you talk about all these Western movies and taking influence from them, right? When I think of a Western, whether it be the good, the bad, and the
旧
ugly,
キャラ
whether
は
it
出ない
be
のか
Back
な
to
い
the
や、
Future
多分
3,
出てこないんじゃない
I
かなと
think
思い
the
ます。
town is always a character unto itself, right?
Yep.
So, like, how does Vestige play into this in terms of what it is for DLC 3?
I wanted to think of the town as a character in and of itself, and so I wanted the players to have
すげ
agency
え
over
和の
things that
国だ
happen.
な。
So whatever the player decides to do, they come back to town and something
がっ
subtle
つり和
changed
の
or
国や
something
ね。
big
なんかあれです
changed.
ね。
For instance, you free a prisoner early on in the
昔
story,
の侍時
and
代ですよ
that
ね。
prisoner
昭
happens to
和
be a musician that decides to write a
戦国時代
song
か。
about the bounty.
世
They call
界
them
観
bounty
的
hunters,
に
but
は。
writes a song about the Vault Hunter. So he goes
Sure.
back to
プ
the
レイヤブル
saloon
キャラ出る
and
の
he
いや
starts
出
playing a
ないんじゃ
song.
な
So
い
you
か
can
な
go
と
in the
思い
saloon
ま
and
す。
he's starting to sing a song about the mission you just completed. But every plot mission that you
近接ビルドに進展あるということは確
he
かに
updates the
侍
song.
関連、
So
日本関連だ
eventually
から
you
もしか
have
した
this
らあれで
entire
すね。
song
近
written
接関
about
連のアイテムい
what
ろい
the
ろ出るか
player
もしれ
has
ません
done.
ね。
Another
十分
one,
可
we have
能
a
性ありえそ
theater
う。
in the town, and we have a challenge. Like we have kind of our crew challenges that we had in Borderlands 3. There's one that's called that's basically a creature feature. So you find these lost film reels all throughout all the maps, and every film reel that you find, you can walk into the theater.
西部と
And
日本を
that
足して
film
2
reel
で
will
割ったような
play.
感じ。
And
確
if
か
you
にそれ
collect
が
all
一
of
番
them,
正し
you
い
get to
例え方
watch
かも
an
しれない。
entire movie inside the theater.
Wow.
So And other things too. I mean, there's lots of examples, but storefronts will be kind of dilapidated a little bit, but then
なんか
reopen
街
depending
並み
on
好
what
き
you
だ
do
わ
in。side missions or challenges. NPCs that come back to town, their roles will change depending on
おー
choices that you made, like a choice that you made in a side mission. So it's that sort of stuff.
That's
This is
awesome.
this is like a living and breathing. You're not. There's nothing static about it at all. You're constantly building this new town the way you want it to be right?
Yeah, it's
日本
it's
ってよ
not
り建
really
築
in
中国
like a
っぽくね
SimCity Animal Crossing thing where a building
so-
didn't
Yeah,
exist, right? But if you pay attention to the subtleties and some of the silhouettes
まあ
of
こ
things
れに
that
関しては
change,
もう全くわかんないです
I
けど
just
ね。
want players to feel like they're not only just playing the tried and tested Borderlands loop that they love, but they're actually making a difference on the town that they're saving. So by the end of the DLC,
刀みたい
you
な使い
feel
方で
like
き
that you're the hero,
できる
that
武器あっ
you
たら
made
面
the
白
change.
そうですね。
You want the changes to have
で
meaning
近
to
接
them,
ビル
like,
ドで
you know,
新し
Reese's
いなんか
mustache, but blown up in,
未来が欲しいですよね。今現状フェイスパンチャーしかないんで、
Want to put just
もうちょっと
giant
違うやつ
mustaches
欲
on
しいで
every
すよね。
building, and we have
Correct.
a DLC
That's
everybody wants.
Every decision, yeah, somehow pertains to a mustache. That's how
し
you
ょう
guys
じさ
went
ん
with
こ
this
んばん
one.
はいらっしゃいです。
Speaking of all this like vibe and customization around the western side, can we expect like it's not even in our
まあ
one of
次
show
の
here,
レイドはあんま
but
り
the,
期待してないけど、
skins, you know, everything to go with this
DLC3 はちょっと
western
期待で
vibe,
きる
you
な
guys。
Oh yeah.
You know, a lot of thought into that.
Yeah, we have a bunch of loot that obviously that we've created for DLC 3. You know, special weapons, gear, and skins that you can find out in the world for sure. So all the loot that people love to find and grind for, there's going to be a lot of great stuff for you to find for sure.
Got to imagine a lot of 6-shooters.
There might
A lot
be
of
a
duels.
pistol. I don't know.
DLC3 の新しい武器か。
Yeah, no, but our gear team did a great job making a lot of
これは
new
なんかあれだな。
legendaries
ワ
for
ーゴン
everybody
ホイ
to
ール
find
と
that aren't just pistols, I promise.
ワーゴンホイール
The
と
one
もう
thing
一
we
個あ
talked
れと
about
なん
at
か
the
足した
top that
感
we
じだ
haven't gotten
な。
back to that I want to know more about is how does this narrator work? The narrator is not the same as the person I assume singing about me changing everything. So what
Nope.
is Marcus mad that he's been replaced?
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
But no, the narrator is essentially a new character. The narrator, he'll be alongside you during the entire DLC. So main missions, side missions, providing commentary, story, and maybe the occasional conversation to the player. It's really great. It's something that I think makes it a very unique DLC, particularly to the Borderlands universe.
So the narrator is actually a character with you. It's not just some disembodied voice talking to me, the player. It's me. It's with
It's
my
just
vault.
audio. The narrator is just audio. You will
Oh,
not
okay.
see him. You will not see him visually.
Interesting.
I can already
like
hear
that.
Zane having like a drunken conversation with the narrator and thinking it's just a voice in his head.
弾薬表示して近接モーション強化する武器とか欲しいな。あ
Yeah,
あ、
we,
それも
we
面
thought
白
we'd
そう
try.
ですね
That's。just one of those little things that we'd try to bring new to Borderlands, and so we're really proud of how it turned out.
Is it
And
sort
then
of?
Sorry. Go ahead.
I
Fred.
was just gonna say, is it sort of in a way that, you know, in a lot of Borderlands, Clap's there talking to you, or a character like that very often.
マッ
is
プ
next to you
結構
talking.
広
Does it
そう
sort
だ
of
な。
replace, in a way,
今回も
the driving forward dialogue?
キョンシー
that
出
you
て
get
き
from
そう
those
だ。
characters? Like, is this
懐
narrator
か
gonna
しい
be
な。
talking
キョンシー
about
とか久々に聞いた
objectives
わ。
and things to do, and
The narrator talks about a wide variety of things, whether it might be
すべ
specifically
ての
about
街並み
objective
検索
or
したらもろ雰
context
囲気同じ。
to
なるほ
world
ど。
building and story building. It really adds a lot of flavor to what Gehenna is.
cool.
いや、でも
And then the
DLC3
final
楽し
thing
そう
you
です
mentioned
ね。
earlier that we haven't gotten back to is these interactive objects.
Oh yeah.
What is that all about? And I'm assuming that's more world building, like you're saying. It's a different kind of environment.
Yeah, we know Borderlands has such a unique and one of a kind gun loop, and we love the combat loop of Borderlands. But we also wanted to create new gameplay objects that you find in the world that you unlock by doing certain missions. So we have something called a Trader Weed, which turns enemies to your side for a certain amount of time.
この武器はなんだ
Eventually, you'll
アン
find
フォ
a
ーギ
core
ブンじゃない
exploder.
な。
Core Exploder shotguns out like high damage shrapnel when you melee it, and then there's a
これ近
breezer
接武器
that
だ
when you。step
今の。
on it, it's a plant that soars you into the air, and we even have something called a telezapper
これ近
that
接
is
武器ですね。
essentially a teleporter. So we wanted to like toss these new gameplay objects
この
into
武
the
器も近接武器で
Borderlands
すね。
mix,
やっぱ
and
近
maybe
接
you
メ
can
レー武
find
器を中心に来るみたい
secrets
ですね。
with a combination of these objects.
What are we talking about in terms of amount of content versus the other ones? Because what I noticed
あれ今
for
なんか
sure
空飛ぶ
was,
変
I
な
was
なんか
actually
ロボットみたい
surprised
なの
with
い
the
た
amount
な
of。content in DLC 1, bringing us back to, you know, kind
あ
of
ーじゃあ
the
近
vibe of
接
Jack.
中心です
But
ね。
it had some older enemies, let's call it. But it was still great, by the way. But then I
なる
noticed
ほど
in
ね。
2, man, you guys amped up tons of just new enemies and just the style, right?
Yeah.
And DLC 2 for me, I'm pretty sure it was longer than DLC 1. So how does it compare, you know, to the first 2 DLCs?
I think people will feel incredibly fulfilled with the amount of content that's in DLC 3. I'm not exactly sure, honestly, at this moment, like what the final hour count is today, but there's plenty to do, and it's incredibly exciting. You could spend a lot of time exploring the frontier and all of these other maps with some of these secrets, secret challenges, and there's a treasure
待っ
map
て、この
challenge
武
that
器
you can
は
kind
結
of
婚式の
use
招待
these
状じゃない？
objects Metroidvania style. It's like,
何
ah,
こ
so
の
I
武
do
器
this
強く
to do
ね？
that to go find this, kind of use
え
some of
待って、
these
今の武器
secrets,
強すぎない？
secret challenges, and there's a treasure map
敵を
challenge
攻
that you
撃
can
した
kind
ら
of
周
use
り
these
で
objects
あれですね、
Metroidvania
凍らせ
style.
ま
It's
す
like,
ね。
ah, so I do this to do that to go
何この
find
武
this.
器？
So I think there's some unique ways to sink some time into this
いや、今
DLC.
の武器バケ
But
モンですね。
we definitely have new enemies as
comparable.
well.
今
Yeah, we
の
have
クリオ
demo
のやつバ
riders
ケモンで
using
しょ。
gyrocopters. They're called vultures, so it's a new flying enemy. We have an
あ
incredibly
れ絶対全員
weird
武器でしょ。
creature called a bellic that you'll come across that's
なんだこ
brand
れ、
new
ドラゴ
to
ンか？
you know
いや待っ
to
て、あの武
Borderlands,
器絶
as
対
well
強いな。
as
め
of
ちゃくちゃ
course the
強いぞ、
demo
あれ
riders
絶対。
riding the experimented on Saurians as well. Dino riders, if you will.
I get it.
That's so
I
cool.
get it, everybody.
あのアサルトライフル絶対強そうだ
Yeah.
な、クリ
When does
オ。
Bounty of Blood come out?
Bounty of
少しは
Blood
近接ブル
will be
です
out
ね。
on
近接ブルと
June
化けるかもしれませんね。
Oh,
お
yes,
お
around the
DLC3 は6月25日ですね。
corner, friend.
Yeah,
Wow.
very soon.
Knew what I
Now-
was doing.
25? まあちょうど1ヶ月後
Matt,
です
this
ね
is。when we pass it off and go to the mailbag. And
Sure.
the fans of the Borderlands show write in
今からちょうど1ヶ月後に来ま
Borderlands,
す。
asking
DLC3
questions,
は
yada, yada, yada. Before I even do that, I mean, I know you just talked about Bounty of
各キャラ
Blood.
で
You
近
just
接スキル
revealed
それまで調整
DLC
入る
3.
かなじゃないと使えないだろうし。
I still
です
gotta
ね
know.。
調整さえ入れば
What。about DLC 4? What have you done for me lately? All right, sure, this one's coming.
ゲリラフェイトで近接弾しまくる忍者フラッグ
What
爆
about
弾
beyond that?
ああ、ゼロプレイ可能か
I
もしれ
can't
ませ
tell
ん
you
ね。
any specifics about DLC 4 right now, but I know we did bring an image, so we can show everybody this
Okay.
image.
Oh, look at this.
Ooh.
Got a psych.
これがあれなんですって。DLC4 の写真なんですって。これはなんだ？
Got some
コンセプト
blue,
なん
you
だろう？
got some pink going on, a car.
Colors. We promise colors.
You promise colors. That's as much as we're gonna get out of you.
なんだろうこのコンセプトは。わかんね
That's as
Yes.
much you're saying there's colors in this.
There will be gameplay and audio and visuals.
All right, good enough. Thank you, Matt. It is time, of course, to turn you
わか
over
ん
to the
ねえ。
audience. who will
DLC4
tear you to
全くわか
shreds.
んねえ。
It's the mailbag.
Excellent.
DLC3 やりたいな。楽しそうだ
All right,
な。
Matt, bit of a different mailbag for you. Of course, a whole bunch of people, they all wrote into kindoffunny.com/Borderlands giving us all sorts of questions, but they were incredibly nitty gritty about very specific game mechanics. And you've been head down working on your DLC, correct?
That's correct.
So, what I want to talk about with you is what were you doing before DLC 3, before you were the director of
ク
Bounty
リ
of
ック
Blood?
来る
What
か
were
ら
you
なんかあれ
doing
ですよ
in
ね。
on Borderlands 3?
Yeah, Borderlands
DLC4 来
3,
そう
I
です
was
よね、
the
クリ
lead
ック。
boss designer, so I got to design and work on all 4 of the vault boss
Oh,
fights,
nice. Jeez.
as well as NPC stuff. But man, designing bosses was a ton of fun.
So, yeah, talk to me about that. How did you come at tackling these giant monsters, right?
Well, I wanted to have 4 tentpole fights that felt a little different. So you had, Rampager, then you had the Grave Ward just like pulling out of an island for like the big boss fight, but then Troy was sort of a dance. Like
Yeah.
I wanted the Troy fight to feel huge, but it's not a huge actual, mesh or an actual mesh, whatever, a huge actual person. He's mostly life size, and then wanted to go full out creature for the final boss fight. So I wanted them all to have their own sort of identity for sure.
And so when you're doing that, do you have just a blank check from the team? Like, how does that work in something as collaborative as game making to sit there and design these boss fights?
I mean, a little bit. Like, you can't stray too far from the Borderlands loop, but they are truly unique creatures that don't necessarily have an enemy class. So you do kind of have a blank check within technical limitations. So, no, it was an incredible sandbox, and I felt like a kid trying to come up with some cool stuff for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I personally love bosses in Borderlands. Seemed like you increased the focus on them. Are you feeling good about bosses as a part of Borderlands going forward?
I thought our entire team, from audio, animation, art, and our designers, like we had a ton of people work on different types of bosses. I really feel like we delivered a great set of
どう
bosses
やらあ
all
れで
across
す
the
ね、
board
ボー
for
ダーラン
Borderlands
2みたい
game
な
for
レイ
sure.
ドボスシステムは
They're
まだ
all,
実装す
like,
る予
really
定な
well
いです
designed.
ね。
Grey Fort especially is a personal favorite going back and killing them all
Thank
the time.
you.
But I struggle so much with Tyrene. I don't know why. She just, for some
公式
reason,
配
I
信
don't
するた
have
びに
the
この質問来てる
accuracy.
んです
Like
よ。
my friend Liz,
新しい
she's
レイ
a
ドボス
Deadeye.
追加
Like,
し
she
てくれ
will
ません
always
かっ
nail the
て。
weak
なんか
spots
ボーダーラン
without
2みたいな
having
シ
to
ステ
do
ムの。
anything. Help me out here. Is
で
there
も毎
anything
回
you can do that can like
実
give
装す
me
る
an
予定
edge
ないって言っ
over
てます
Tyrene?
な。
Because she whoops me
So
sometimes, and I
I
get sad.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody has really figured this out. Like there was their period of time, like 2 months after it came out, I was like on YouTube. I'm like, all right, people have had to have found this like hidden mechanic, but I've never seen it. Anyway, so there's
何
the
この武器
Iridian rock formations. You know, when you get
ん
the
今の武
resonator,
器
you
なん
can
だ
melee like the
DLC
Iridian
3の
rocks,
武器
right?
か
Because they
な
have like the purple crystals. You find them around. So one of her meteors that she throws at you, like that she throws at you a lot,
こ
is
れは
made
何
up
の
of
武器
those
だ
same Iridian crystal chunks. So I'm like,
Ah.
surely as it's
あ
coming
あ、
to
この
them,
武器
people
強
are
そ
going
う
to think to
Just
melee it
punch
right
こ
back.
の武器化け
So
物です
I was
ね。
very inspired
あ、
by
でも
a
属性か
classic
切り替
Zelda
わるの
fight,
か
so。where you
Yeah.
could just melee that huge
DNA のア
meteor
サルト版か。
right back
DNA
to
の
Tyrene,
DNA
and
と
it
カットマンを
staggers
足した
her,
感じ
and
か。
so like her
この武
face,
器
you
強
know,
そうだな。
pours out of her weird chest cavity thing. So I figured people might pick up on it, but I didn't do my job well enough, and I don't think people. it was such a frantic fight. They were just like, oh my god, and so they weren't just like,
大量
oh,
の
look
イ
at
ジ
that
ウム
thing.
と引
I
き換えにレイ
remember
ド
I
ボス
can
戦
melee
える。
those
まあそうです
shapes
よ
and
ね。
things.
そういう風にしてくれればいいの
Wow.
に
I。can't wait to try that.
But maybe
Hey,
like
MB さん
hopefully
こん
now
ばんは。
everybody
いらっ
can
しゃ
go
いで
try it
す。
out, and like as that's coming to you, instead of getting out of the
今の
way,
新
just
しいボス
work
な
on
ん
the timing to
新
melee it
し
and
い
watch
武
it
器
go
っ
back
て
and
何
just
でしょう
like
ね。
stagger.
次のレイドの
That's so cool. I don't
武
think
器
I've
な
ever
の
seen
かな。
anybody do that so far.
Yeah.
So how do you wrestle with that as a game designer? You put in a mechanic you thought was so
Oh.
clever, we're excited people get, and then they just don't even do it.
I just cried for at least 3 days, and then I tell myself to get over it, and then it's like, all right.
海外の
Now,
人のチャッ
it's
トは
just
どんな
fun
感
trying
じ？
things, and it's a little bit of a bummer that people didn't pick up on it, but it wasn't intended to be, a mechanic people had to find, but it's one of those secret mechanics. And for the Rampager, one of our great creature
ほら、
designers, Ruben,
同じこと
there's
言
a
ってる
bunch
じゃ
of
ない
people,
です
a lot
か。
of people contribute to how bosses come out. It's never just one person.
Of course.
But the Rampager has 3 different forms, and so if you
そう、
remember the
ほ
old
ら、
arcade game
ボーダーラン2か、
Rampage,
ボーダーラン2みたいなボス
Oh,
出してくれって
wow.
みん
that
な
the
やっぱ
3
言ってるこ
main
と一緒なんで
avatars
す
of
よ。
Rampage are the inspiration for the shapes. You have the ape
What?
shape, you have the beast shape, and you have the dragon, the lizard shape.
結
Right?
局、ボーダーランやってる人、みんな望むもの一緒なんですよ。ボーダーラン2のシステムそのまま持ってきてほしいんですよ。
Dang, it was staring us in the
I
face.
feel so
Oh my
stupid.
God.
Right?
Wow.
We all did.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I'd never put it
だって
together.
結局
There was
今まで
actually
や
a
ってる
time
人
I
間、
love our writers. They're like, oh, we're going to
で
rename this because this is such a
で
temp
現時
designer
点、
name.
初期から
And then I'm
現時
like,
点までやってる
but
人
wait,
間ってほ
it's
とんどあれ
not.
ですからね。
Please keep
ボーダーラン2からやってる人間が多いですからね。
The lore behind it and what we're trying to achieve. Wow. You just blew
Yeah.
my mind.
だからどうしても前作で良かったやつを持ってきてほしいなって何回も何回も言うんですよ。
Pay
だから。
attention to. They run for the shiny gold epic and get out.
Yeah, who knows? I know those are the first 2 things that come to mind for me for bosses, though.
ケーキ別属性版っぽいですね。
And so then how do you go from being a boss designer to being somebody who's directing, this DLC?
You know what? Gearbox does a wonderful job working with
やっぱ
with
海外の
people
人
and
でも
helping
考
them
えるこ
take
と
their
同じか。
next
てか
steps,
同じですよ。
in their career. I've had an amazing time working at
だっ
the
て
company.
ボーダーラン2で何が面白かったって言ったらもうあれですもん。すごい強いレイドボスをみんなで周回するのが楽しかったんですもん。
To figure out how to be a creative director on a DLC, and I had some ideas, and we have a
シ
lot
リー
of
ズ
great
経験者
people
が多いのか
that
な。
have
そり
their
ゃ圧
ideas
倒
and
的に多い
trying
で
to
すよ。
corral all of that, which is a great. Oh, Western way. Oh,
There you go.
corral a Western
You got it on the brain. You got it on the
Sorry.
brain.
I'm a dad. I'm a dad. I have fun now. They're never good. None of my jokes
多
are good.
分、今でもボダランの多分7割か8割くらいはシリーズ全部経験者だと思いますよ。ほとんどの方が。
Yeah, I was gonna say I now seeing some
新規の方もいらっしゃると思うけど、ほとんどが全部シリーズ全部経験してやってて、ボーダーラン3やってる人じゃないかな。
They are truly each kind of different in their own way, and also like the music we touched on. I really love the variety actually, because I know from the top level, you know, you want to be very careful about consistency and brand, and but actually, you guys really, it feels like you take some of the stuff to the limit and let people kind of just dream, and I'm seeing it come through. So
I appreciate hearing that because it is an honor to work with such a talented team for sure.
Well, Matt, thank you so much for spending the time and coming to the Borderlands show.
You're very
に
welcome.
やってないからわかん
Thank you
ない。
so
な
much
る
for
ほど
having me.
ね。
Now, before you go, you get the privilege of revealing the shift code. All right, so every episode we have a shift code. It pops up on screen. Usually I have people do like this.
しかし逆にすごくないですか？公式配信するたびにあれですよ。メールボックスの質問が DLC2 と同じような環境のボスを実装してくれですよ。
I can reveal a shift code and it's
7回もですよ。
I made you a sound effect too. That's what I did. You did
7回も来てるのに未だに実装しないってボーダーラン3の運営もなかなかですよね。
Borderlands show, ladies and gentlemen. Matt, thank you so much.
こんだけプレイヤーが望んでるのに。
DLC's coming out when again?
June 25th.
June
Bounty and
25th.
Blood, a fistful of redemption. No longer DLC 3.
I can't, yeah, exactly. DLC 3 is dead. But ladies and gentlemen, what isn't dead, Greg Way, is Ask a Psycho.
新参はこういうので疎外感が。まあ簡単に言えばあれですよ。レイドボスが、なんだ。
Psycho! That Psycho in the DLC 4 key art looks rad and nothing like you. Are you offended that you
要するに DLC2 のボスシステムを持ってきてほしいっていうのはどういうことかというと、タイリンみたいな感じだ。要するにオデンいるじゃないですか、オーディン。オーディンあいつをもうボス単体として出して戦うんですよ。で、ボス単体として出して、で、その強さが今のオーディンの約10倍から20倍にするんですよ。だから完全にボス戦で、ボス戦だけで20分とか30分とかかかるような設定。そういうボスがボーダーラン2ではいろんな箇所にあったんですよ。一つのマップごとに3つ4つとかあって。だから本当に何と呼べるのかな、ボス戦をやってる感じみたいのが楽しめたんですけど、今作はそれがないんで、だマリオンだって結局ボスって強くないじゃないですか、弱いじゃないですか。本当ボスと戦ってる感じがしたからな、面白かったんだよね。で、いろんなギミックがあって、ボスごとに。これをしちゃいけない、あれをしなきゃいけない、ここに避けなきゃいけない、ここにしなきゃいけないとか。初見です。猫黒さんこんばんはいらっしゃいです。時折ステフリン動画参考させてもらってます。ありがとうございます。こんばんはいらっしゃいです。新規増えるみたいですね。今年の3月にアクティブユーザー最大になったらしい。みたいですね。その話を私も聞きましたわ。2のレイドボス楽しかった。テイクダウンも悪くないけど、周回しやすさは大事ですね。だから、やっぱりね、ボス戦してるときに、そのボス戦してるよという感覚が欲しいんですよ。簡単に言っちゃえば。こんな絞れなさい。2のレイドボスは理不尽すぎるぐらい強くたんですね。あれが楽しかったからな。あのシステム来てほしいんだよな、でも本当に。もうほんと単純に言っちゃえば、あれです。今のボーダーラン3のボスより10倍か20倍ぐらい強いです。強さ的に言ったらば。10倍 ?20 倍うん。それぐらいありますね。強すぎるから逆にキャラによってはもうそもそもクリアできないっていうボスもいたぐらいですし、それぐらい難易度が高かったから面白かったんですよ。 マリアンテイクダウンとメイヘム4実装時のオーディン戦闘はハラハラした、楽しかった。まあ、最初はやった時はね、良かったんですけどね。でも無駄な無敵とかいらないスマート携帯ですね。それも惜しいですね。単純なボス本当欲しいなと私も本当思います。それが欲しい。まあ公式配信も私、じゃあ終わりにしますかね。パッと見た感じ、新しいレイドに関しては、私の予想だと多分ゴミレイドになるんじゃないかなと思います。周回がそもそもめんどくさそうだし、パルクール系統だし、落下したら最初からなるだろうから、まあ多分、とりあえず周回めんどくさ、もう何もかもめんどくさそうですね。で、DLC3 に関しては多分めちゃくちゃ面白いんじゃないかなと思います。まあ来ての楽しみですね。なんかあんまりいい情報はなかったような気がするけど。まあ来週ですね。来週楽しみにしましょうか。レイドがどんな感じなのか。ということで皆さんお疲れ様です。無敵ないと基本的に全部消し飛ぶからな。だから消し飛ばないぐらい化け物が来てほしいんですよ、本当に。DLC 楽しみだな。そんな嫌なお知らせなくてよかったですね。私もそれは思います。でもレイドに関してはな、パッと見だけであれですよね。もうめんどくさそうなのか分かりますよね。伝わりますよね。あれ周回絶対めんどくさいだろうな。じゃあお疲れ様です。また明日お会いしましょう。お疲れ様でした。そしておやすみなさい。